Shelly? Shelbell? Hey. Come on. That's what he said. Does that feel greener yet?
Good morning, Chichi. Anything under here? Oh, yeah, thanks. Chichi is the only one who lays in here. You should not own this many chickens and only get 4 eggs.
Yeah. Should give him some scratch.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, the feeder thing. What, you guys don't want no worms? Yep. I'll come out here and pick everything then. Okay.
And this is the current project. This is a, I believe it's a John Deere F-130 plow. Older plow, but I picked it up at the auction. It'll do for us, no problem. It just needed a little bit of work. I've got new ribs for the front. I just picked up some new plow bolts to put in there, some hardware. So we'll replace those. I'm missing a coulter. So I've ordered some parts from John Deere that I think we can make work. Most of this is obsolete. So I think we can make it work, but it's probably not like the way it should be originally. There was some farmer grade welds on there. I haven't repaired that yet, but they have re-welded this stiffener bar through here. Looks a lot better now. And replace some hardware, a few little upgrades. A few more repairs to make for this, and then this will be ready. We're going to use it to plow up a larger area for market produce. So we'll plant corn, potatoes, onions, things that need to be held up and cultivated. We'll do that, try and do that mostly with machinery. So we're going to do a bigger spot out here in this field, and then we'll save the garden area for stuff like tomatoes and bell peppers and other smaller type crops. So I got these new ribs on the front, each one of them. I had to replace some more hardware, found some bolts that need to be replaced. I've got this coulter here, or those things. This coulter's missing, and I ordered it from John Deere. Well, I should say I ordered some parts from John Deere. I will have to make it work. Hopefully they're in a week or so. Other than that, this thing's ready to go. I would like to put a jack on there. Here actually would have been a jack stand that could have been put in there, or you could have took that out, and then there was a guide wheel as an option that you could have put in there. But I don't have any flat bar that's big enough to make something out of. I was just going to get a jack and weld on there just to stand it upright. But other than that, ready to go. So I think the plow is pretty much ready to go. Just need a new coulter. It's coming. Hopefully it gets here soon. Got new shares. I think that's what they're called. Check the alignment on everything. It looks about as square as I can tell. Hopefully it pulls pretty straight. Definitely wants to sit pretty straight now. So maybe here in a couple weeks we'll try it out and plow up a little area for some more row type crops for the garden. So we're going to plow up a bigger area, do a bigger patch of sweet corn and onions, some potatoes, maybe an area for some pumpkins, and I think there was something else that was going to go in there. I don't remember now. But things that we can manage with machinery. So we'll cultivate it, we'll hill it up, we'll basically use machinery for it. And we'll just put some electric netting around it somewhere over here in this area. That way we can keep the garden into stuff like tomatoes, cauliflower, cabbage, okra, beans, whole beans, stuff like that. So I don't think our beans did very good because I think they get too much sun. So next year we're gonna give them a little bit of shade. Well, we got the little wood stove here in the shop fired up. It's a little chilly this morning. It's it's already warmed up a little bit. It was about 48 here in the shop. Now it's about 50 right here by the wood stove. If there was one thing I wish I'd have done when I built the shop, I wish I would have went ahead and insulated it. But you know, hindsight's 20/20, so I'll do it at some point maybe. But it's not too bad. You can get it pretty warm in here if you turn the diesel heaters on and the wood stove, and you know, it can be pretty comfortable in here even in winter. So I went to John Deere the other day, ordered some parts. They came in for the moldboard plow. Of course, I still need some parts. So I have the hubs and cones And I need a shaft. I'll need to get a hardened like a grade 8 bolt or something for a shaft with some washers, and I'll need to get some bolts for these. So let's look at the trip to the hardware store before we can install it, and then a new coulter. So yeah, hopefully we can put it together and it'll work. So we'll grab these parts and then go to the hardware store, try and find some hardware. Hopefully we can install a coulter. This bracket here is not wide enough, so we'll have to do some fabricating. May have to get another bolt. That one looks maybe 3/8 or half. So we'll get a variety of hardware so that we can try and put that together and make it work. Before we do that, let's go over here and check the wood stove. Make sure it's going. Oh yeah. We can turn that back down. We can turn it down a little bit. We can probably stick another piece of wood in there. Gotta get rid of some of this paper and stuff. All right, that should last till we get back. Alright, so we went and got some parts. So this was what I ordered from John Deere. It's these two hubs with the coulter, because I didn't have them. And they call these cones. And they essentially fit inside. I needed a bolt for a axle shaft, hold it all together. And I needed the bolts to hold these two hubs together. So, go to one of my favorite places. Got an assortment of grade 8 bolts, and these should work. I'll just start by bolting everything together for this. I wonder if I should put some RTJ in there. course, I got what I could get, but we'll take the cutoff wheel and cut those off. It's custom. It's custom. It's not really a bolt-on application. It's custom. And if you do enough farm work, everything's custom. Especially whenever you go and you buy old equipment from auctions, there's going to be some custom that you're going to have to deal with. Sometimes you can find good stuff at auctions. You know, farmers retiring or something, you know, and they're just liquidating everything. That stuff will go for decent money though. But, you know, it's usually pretty decent stuff. Someone's taking care of it. But the other stuff you see at auctions, at least around here, a lot of it's junk. You know, some of it, it's literally at the auction, it's going for the scrap price. And scrappers are there to load it up and go take it for scrap money. So if you're handy and you want to put some sweat equity into something, you know, you can get something that'll work or get you by. But you know, if it's complex, you know, if it's more complex than a set of discs or a plow or something, I mean, I would suggest looking on Facebook Marketplace or buying used from a dealer or something like that. Or if you go to the auction, you might get it cheap. It won't be so cheap once you get home though. You're like, whoa, look at all this stuff it cost me. So if you go to the dealer or online, you know, or places like that, you can find the old schematics and how to order parts and stuff. So this is for this series of plow. This is what it should look like. And there's a couple options. So of course I didn't have any of it. So, and then some of these are obsolete. So when you're at the dealer, they're like, well, it's obsolete or it's replaced with this part. So it's kind of what I did. And this actually doesn't show any gasket material in there, but you know, it's a greasable fitting. I mean, I don't know, I would have probably put some gasket material in there to keep the dust out, but it's a Coulter. I mean, it is what it is. It's designed to wear out. The number 25, what are they calling that? Yoke. The yoke that I've got is a little bit different than this, so we'll have to do some customization. So we'll see. If you didn't notice, DeWalt's my favorite color, so not really on purpose. It was just I had a couple DeWalt tools and I was already invested in the battery system, so you know, and over time you just accumulate. And of course, when I would need a tool, especially if it was battery operated, I'd be like, well, I already got tools for and batteries for everything else. I might as well just use the DeWalt. So, and they make good stuff. I mean, I'm not knocking them. I'm pretty happy with them, you know. I mean, I guess, good grief. I guess the real, probably the best stuff you could buy is probably Milwaukee, but even some of their stuff is it's pretty pricey, and not all of it's that great. But, you know, DeWalt's not as pricey, but it's not cheap. You know, and I haven't had any issues with DeWalt stuff. All right, just like that, we have custom linked bolts. All right, so the next thing really is to put these grease zerks in. Just got an assortment. This is John Deere stuff, so you know, anything you get from the Tractor Supply is probably going to work just fine. But there are different thread patterns, especially if you buy something that's predominantly made overseas. European tractor components or equipment, there's a different thread pattern in these. So if for some reason you've got something and it doesn't fit, well, that's probably why. It's some sort of different thread pattern. And it looks like that's the only one of that size that I have. Go figure. Probably be the second trip of the day to the hardware store. Well, if you're not really going to the hardware store at least 2 or 3 times a day, are you really even fixing anything? Because, yep, of course that one won't work. So, yep. All right, the yoke. This is a little bit different design, but I think you can unbolt these and pull them out. So I'm gonna need to make it wider. I've got some washers and stuff that I could put in here, but I need to get it on the coulter first. So these bolts are gonna have to come out. And of course, one of them is completely bent and boogered. So we'll use the universal tool to get it off. again. That's more of the same. One side's metric, one side's standard, because somebody else has cobbled it together. Alright, so I got one side off, which is what I really need so I can make it a little bit wider, space it out. But I need to replace these bolts. I've had to cut them off, and they're pretty well rusted in there. So I had to get the persuader and got the first half off, but this doesn't have enough oomph. So I need something bigger. All right, got something with a little more oomph. Let's see if we can make those bolts turn. Just a little bit of back and forth. Gotta let the rust give up, because it does not want to give up. If someone could bottle up rust in a spray form so that you could use it as a adhesive, boy, that stuff would sell like hotcakes. Or it just breaks off.